So this is the gift I'm going to wrap. A little preamble, if I may. So, I became a good gift wrapper out of shame. My dad was the most amazing, and still is the most amazing gift wrapper I've ever seen. He gets specifically what I appreciate that he does is he gets the paper so tight around the packages that it doesn't look like it could have possibly been done by human hands. And so I always felt insecure about my wrapping in comparison to that. I always strived to be what he is as a gift wrapper. And I'd approach him sometimes like, how are you so good? Like, what do you do? Show me a wise one how to wrap gifts like you do. And his response would always be, oh, you do great. You do fine. Which is not what I was looking for, right? So I was on my own. I had to figure this out on my own. I'm still not up to his standard, but over the years, people have told me I'm pretty good at this. So, okay, I'll take their word for it. Also, if you're looking for like a gift wrapping tutorial, there's probably like a buy the book way to do this. I'm self-taught, so I don't know the buy the book way to do it. There's certainly fancy ways to wrap gifts. Like this isn't the tutorial for you if that's what you're looking for. This is layman's gift wrapping 101 to get boxes looking, to get the paper tight, to get good creases, to make it look like you know what you're doing when you're wrapping a gift. So, okay, we start with the paper. I pre-cut it because it would be too hard to cut it on a live video. Take up, you wouldn't be able to see me cut it, but I do want to talk a little bit about the cutting. So the important thing with cutting, of course, you don't want it too small, but you don't want it too big either, because if you got too much paper to deal with, you're not going to be able to get those nice tight creases that you're looking for. It's going to be puffy in some part of the package. So you want to make sure you don't have too much excess paper. And fortunately, all modern paper now comes with this grid on the underside, so you can make sure you're lining things up properly. You're not getting anything crooked. You're not going to have the box all the paper folded over the box, and in the end, like there are lines on the paper on the outside of the paper and they don't match up right, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a total slob. You don't got to worry about that with those lines underneath. So when you're cutting the paper, you make sure that ideally it would fold a little more than halfway up the edge of the box, just a little more than halfway up, right? So that you don't end up with too much excess paper, so that when you do all the folding on the sides, it's going to be right in the middle here of the edge of the box. And then of course you make sure lengthwise you cut enough paper to cover the whole outside. I'm doing just a regular box here, and it's the sort of box that something would come pre-packaged in. It's not like a shipping box, like we all get from Amazon, because those are kind of haphazardly put together and you can't trust that they're totally uniform on all sides. You're going to have to wrap a gift in that sort of box eventually. It's inevitable. We have so many lying around. We all do. But you don't want to start with that if you're trying to build your confidence, because you think it's this uniform box where every edge is even, but it's really not. And so you're going to get frustrated and you're going to think you can't do it. You want something that comes in a prepackaged box that you can trust, is nice and uniform.
What is that gift, by the way, Scott? I'm just.
It's for my. It's a real gift for my real son. It's a camera, like a starter Polaroid camera where you take the picture and it prints it out immediately.
Oh, nice.
Love it. Yeah.
I love how you said a real gift for my real son. Like,
yeah,
not like your fantasy son or anything.
No. I also want to mention, like, when you get pretty good at it, don't shy away from wrapping oddly shaped packages like this. It doesn't always have to be a box that looks boring under your tree if every single thing is just a cube, right? People are a little more forgiving if it's a quirky shape. They're not going to judge your tight folds and creases as much, because obviously it's not a box. People just naturally know, okay, that was kind of tricky to wrap. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate that I can kind of see the outline of the gift. But again, if you're just starting, just trying to build your confidence, that's not the best place to start. Okay, so let's get to actual wrapping here. I don't know how many minutes we're into this thing, but
take your time, Scotty.
All right, so line it up this way. I leave 2 squares on the top and bottom in this case. That's going to be enough to fold it halfway up the side. So then I just need to line it up along the squares here. Have it nice and even that way. Fold it over. And now this is where I start using tape already. A lot of people, I'm sure the by the book way to wrap a present would say 3 pieces of tape for the whole thing. But I'm more interested in getting it as tight as I possibly can. And if I'm only using 3 pieces of tape, I'm going to leave some kind of saggy area somewhere in the wrap. So I just want to tighten it at every opportunity. So I'm going to put a piece of tape here directly on the gift. You know, if the outside is paper that you have to preserve and you don't want to tape it directly to it, okay, that's going to make it a little harder. But for almost everything you wrap, you can tape directly to it. You don't have to worry about it doing damage or anything. And then fold it over this way. Again, making sure after you put the piece of tape there that it's still straight along this line here so that you're lining everything up correctly. Okay. So then you get it nice and tight this way. Because we taped it directly to the gift here, we can get it as tight as we possibly can. I mean, really tug on it. Hold it still to pull off another piece of tape. I'm probably going to use 2 pieces of tape, one here and one here, just so we don't get anything like uncurling after the gift is wrapped.
Let me ask you, Scott. Let me stop you right there real quick.
Okay.
Do you ever pull the pieces of tape off before you fold it, just so that you don't have to pull off the piece of tape while you're holding it down? You know what I'm saying? It kind of makes it a little bit awkward. So do you ever have the pieces of tape ready beforehand?
Oh, no, but you
No?
could. You
All right.
could. I've never done that. I've never thought to do that.
All right.
But you could. I see the appeal of that. Okay, so we got a nice tight wrap going on here, right? There's nothing puffing here. There's nothing puffing here. It's a little puffy, I guess.
It's okay.
But not too bad.
We don't have to tell them about that.
All right, so then the end is really the tricky part, right? Everybody can do a fold over. What you're going to do on the end here is first put it down like this, tape it there to hold it still. So let me put the piece of tape there. I've never shown anybody how to wrap a gift before, so I don't have practice in teaching this.
Fine. You're doing great.
All right. You sound like my dad.
I was gonna say the response that your dad gave you was like the most dad response ever, right? Like, you do great, son. It's
I mean, he always wants to show me stuff with like tools and whatever, and it's like I actually need his help for something. And, okay. Anyway, so I got it taped down like this, and then what you're gonna do is kind of fold a triangle shape like this. Okay, so we gotta see, I folded it down so that it's a triangle on this side and this side.
Okay.
And then you're gonna fold it over like this.
Ooh.
And tape that as well.
Okay.
So that it's not popping up as you're trying to complete your folds. So tight creases, right? When you're not confident, it's tempting to not make a crease because you want to be able to undo a mistake, right? But if you're not making those creases nice and sharp, like you know what you're doing, then it looks like you don't know what you're doing. You're going to get a puffy package for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's like, at that point, why are we even doing it, Scott?
Right. So you got to make like really tight creases. So, really rub your finger over that to get those creases nice and tight. Okay. All right. So I'm going to tape this down and I'm going to show you what I have here. All right. Feel like this is already not my finest work. But anyway, this is what we got here. All right. So we taped it down here. We taped it down here. Right. Do you see what I did? You able to follow along? Okay. All right. So then we're going to fold up here like this. Okay. Just what's left here. We're going to fold it up and tape that. But But, and this is something that I've learned just from experience. Before we do that, before we completely close off this end, let's start making progress on this end. Okay? As much progress as we made here. Because what can happen when you're folding up this end is you can end up pushing the package and sliding it this way in the paper.
Right.
And then all, as careful as you were to make everything even, it's suddenly not even anymore. So
yeah.
And
then it won't be as tight either.
Yeah, absolutely. You know where I'm going.
Oh yeah,
You know
yeah.
where I'm going.
No, it's crazy.
Am I helping you in any way at this point, Frank? Or
Yeah, no. You've already
know?
You've already done things that I wrapped the 2 gifts recently, and I didn't do any of these things. There were some things. I'm not going to say any, but you're definitely going through steps that I did not do myself.
Yes. Okay. And I tend to overanalyze things. That's probably why I'm a fantasy baseball analyst. So
makes sense.
I'm sure people can find shortcuts. I haven't yet. But most of what I'm doing here is because when I didn't do that before, like I learned from trial and error. So something went wrong. Oh, how can I prevent that in the future? I can tape this down, or I can fold this over, or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we did the same thing here. See how that going? All right. So now we're going to fold those up. Fold it up like this. Just make those creases even stronger here. Okay.
Now, are we going 2 pieces of tape here at the top, or just one?
I think I am. You know, I'm not. I would like to do just one, but I've had too many times where it like pops up here on the edge.
Okay.
You know?
Yep.
And that looks sloppy. So
okay.
I realize a bunch of tape kind of looks sloppy too. But
hey, you know what? Make your kids work for these gifts, right? You know, they gotta.
Yeah, well, exactly. And then do the same thing over here. And I feel like we got some wrinkles at this part that I don't like. If I wasn't doing a video, I might actually undo it and stretch that out a little better.
Oh man,
because I'm a perfectionist like that, right? But we're doing the video. So, all right, I got 2 pieces of tape there. I got 2 pieces of tape there. I got a nice tight box, not the tightest I've ever done, not this tight. I don't know. My dad could probably do better than this, but I think it's pretty good. What do you think, Frank?
That's pretty damn good.
That's
I like
pretty
it.
Good.
I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, Scotty.
Okay.
9 out of 10. I like it.
I'll take it. Hopefully this was constructive and instructive, and people got a lot out of it. And they're going to roll up their sleeves and get to wrapping all their gifts instead of getting a dumb gift bag or one of those boxes that just has like a wreath on it.
Yeah,
just
don't
tape
do
shut.
No,
pathetic.
No.
Nobody wants that. Least of all a kid. If you have kids, come on.
You're 100% right.
I am not particularly crafty or dexterous. I think this is why people make a point to tell me I'm good at wrapping gifts, because it catches them by surprise. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, we need gift wrap throughout the holidays, because I had my fiance's gifts, the ones that I needed to wrap. Obviously, I'm not going to lie. She wraps everything else. She's very good at it. I was not going to have her wrap her own gifts. That obviously defeats the purpose. She handed me a couple of bags. I'm like, no, I'm going to wrap your gifts. I don't know that they're going to look great, but and that's what I did. But definitely did not look as good as that gift. So I agree with you 100%. Let's get to wrapping, get the gift wrap going for the kids, the loved ones in our life. And that'll do it. That's the end of the year, Scotty, for you. So good way to end it. Obviously here, wrapping a few gifts. For Scott, I am Frank. Thank you all for listening and watching Fantasy Baseball Today all year long. I will be back again on Tuesday. No Scotty, though. Bye-bye.